Hello students. So vapor pressure we have studied and now we are having condition 1. Condition 1 is that we are having a container. Container is having two components. Okay. Both the components are volatile. Now in this case after some time you will find some vapors above the liquid. Now these vapors are containing component 1 as well as component 2 because both the components are volatile. Okay. Now the second सिचुएशन क्या है? सेकेंड सिचुएशन ये है कि हमारे पास जो कंपोनेंट 1 है वो तो वोलाटाइल है बट द सेकेंड कंपोनेंट इज नॉन वोलाटाइल. नॉन वोलाटाइल मतलब क्या है? वो कंपोनेंट वेपर की फेस में नहीं जाएगा. इट विल रिमेन in liquid stage itself. Okay, it will not go up. Okay, so this is component 1 as well as component 2. After some time you will notice that vapors are there, but ये जो vapors हैं these will be the vapors of only and only one component. Okay, so now we continue with Raoult's law. Okay, to understand Raoult's law, let us take case 1. Solution of two volatile liquids. Just now we studied that we are having a solution of two volatile liquids. This is also volatile and liquid 2 is also volatile. Now, when both the components are volatile, we have discussed that we will get vapors over here and these vapors will be from component 1 as well as from component 2. Okay, so here we are having component 1 and 2 in the liquid phase and here we are having both the components in the vapor phase. Okay, now we move on to Raoult's law. Raoult's law says that the total pressure which will be in this region above the liquid will be P is equal to P1 plus P2. Now this P is total pressure above the liquid. Okay, but P1 and P2, now these are known as partial pressures. Okay, partial vapor pressure of component 1. Okay, and P2 would be what? It is partial vapor pressure of component 2. Now, so this much we know that whatever vapors are present here, these are vapors from first component and second component, and adding the partial pressures of both the components, we are getting total pressure or total vapor pressure on the surface of the liquid. Now, how do we calculate this P1? How do we calculate P2? That is given by Raoult's law. Raoult's law states that the partial pressure of each component, okay, means partial pressure of component 1, partial pressure of component 2 is equal to the product of, so I write multiplication sign, okay, it is equal to the product of two components, student. One is mole fraction, second is vapor pressure of the pure component. Now we give a symbol to mole fraction as X. Okay, and vapor pressure of pure component, when it is pure component I would write naught. Okay, so I write P naught. Understood? So if it is component 1 I would write here X1. If it is component 2 I will write here X2. Okay, if it is pure component 1 for vapor pressure I will write P naught 1, and if it is component 2 I will write P naught 2. So do not forget these notifications or these symbols. Okay, so I again repeat partial pressure of each component. So if I have to write for P1 I will write it is the product of mole fraction. So I will write mole fraction now X1. Okay, so X1 multiply by P naught 1. Okay, so I write this expression as P1 is equal to X mole fraction and P naught 1. So this is the Raoult's law given for component 1. Okay, we have applied it to the component 1. Now let us focus on P2 also. For P2 also, what is the mole fraction? It is X2. okay, multiply by vapor pressure of pure component. Means component is same, it is 2 only, component is same, but its vapor pressure when it is pure, when it is alone, okay, when it is only that component. So I write here P naught 2. So I would write here P2 is equal to X P naught 2. Okay, so this is the partial vapor pressure of both the components which I have written. So it means that I am going to write now P is equal to P1 plus P2. Okay, that is total vapor pressure on the surface of liquid is given by this expression. Which expression? 1 and 2. So I'll write here x1 P naught 1, okay, x2 P naught 2. Now we all know that mole fraction. What does the mole fraction means? Mole fraction meaning is, suppose if I write x1, okay, what is the meaning of mole fraction? Number of moles of that component present in the total mixture, isn't it? X2 is what? Number of moles of that component present in the entire mixture. Okay, and mole fraction, the name itself is suggesting it is fraction of 1 mole. Okay, so x1 plus x2 is equal to 1. Okay, out of 1 mole, x1 is the mole fraction of component 1 and x2 is the mole fraction of component 2. So I now write over here that x1 plus x2 is equal to 1. Okay, therefore I can write over here x1 is equal to I'll write x1, x2 is equal to 1 minus x1. Okay, so we have P is equal to x1 P naught 1 plus x2 P naught 2. I'll substitute this value in this below expression, x1 P naught 1 plus 1 minus x1 P naught 2. Okay, now I open the brackets, so I'll be getting P is equal to x1 P naught 1 plus P naught 2 minus x1 P naught 2. Okay, now I bring these similar terms next, okay, P and this all together. So I will be getting here P is equal to x1 P naught 1 minus x1 P naught 2 plus P naught 2. Okay, now if you look at this expression carefully, okay, I'll remove x1 out. Okay, so I write here because there is no space over there, P is equal to x1, students, I am taking out. Okay, so I'll be getting x1, fine, x1 is taken out, so I'll write inside P naught 1 minus P naught 2. Okay, P naught 1 minus P naught 2 plus P naught 2. So we finally come to this expression. This is the expression for the Raoult's law, in which both the components, okay, two components are volatile. All right, now we are going to quickly solve or quickly derive one expression for a solution in which one of the component is non-volatile. Okay, so pay attention. So solution is there in which we are having liquid which is volatile. Okay, this is the second case, and solute which is non-volatile. Okay, now so hereby we begin with the explanation, that is we are having a beaker and the beaker is closed with a lid. Okay, and we are having liquid inside it, and this liquid is a volatile liquid. Okay, now inside this liquid we are having non-volatile, okay, so this is non-volatile solute. Now students, what happens is, non-volatile solute, what happens is, now it is a solute and solvent. Okay, so we are talking for solution now. Okay, so when you add solute into the solvent, we get a solution. But if the solute is non-volatile, it will occupy some space on the surface. Okay, thereby number of solvent molecules which are escaping in the vapor state decreases. So less vapors of solvent will escape, and if the vapors are less in number, vapor pressure will be less. Vapor pressure is low. Okay, so if I say that P01 is the vapor pressure of solvent, okay, and after adding solute it became solution, okay, and P is what? Vapor pressure of solution. So after adding solute, because number of solvent molecules escaping in the gaseous state have reduced, less vapors will be there above, less vapors are there, so vapor pressure will be low. So it means that vapor pressure of solution gets lowered, and hence we come to a conclusion to write that vapor pressure of the pure solvent is more than vapor pressure of the solution. So you have to remember these terms. It is vapor pressure of solvent, it is vapor pressure of solution. Okay, now when this is the case, it means component 2, that is solute, is not going into the vapor state. Okay, so I put x2 is equal to 0. I hope you understand this, because component 2 is non-volatile. Okay, this is component 1, component 2, it is non-volatile, so it is not going in the vapor state, and hence its contribution in the vapor state is 0. Okay, so if its contribution is 0, okay, I would write then that P2 is equal to 0. Okay, P2 is equal to 0. So when you write like this, see x2 inside the solution, x2 is there. Okay, but in the vapor stage there is no x2. Okay, so this is more important, and this is in the vapor state I am saying. Fine. Now, so what we have to do is we will substitute P2 is equal to 0 in the above expression. Okay, the above expression was P is equal to x1 P01 minus P02 plus P02. Okay, now P02, that is P02 is 0. So I'll write over here that x1 and P01. So this term will be 0, this term will be 0, and we are getting this. So P is equal to x1 P01. Now let us try to understand the meaning of this. This expression is very important. It is explaining that, it signifies that, it explains that the vapor pressure which is there on the surface, okay, the vapor pressure, or I would say the total pressure, because what was P? It was P1 plus P2. So total pressure which is exerted on the liquid is depending on completely on the contribution of component 1. Okay, so for component 1 the total pressure is equal to the mole fraction multiplied by vapor pressure of the pure component.